Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of D20 Sundays. This one, of course, is balancing homebrew content again, but this time not the spiel that I had last time, but rather the act of creating a homebrewed creature and balancing it so that way it's proper for whatever challenge rating you're throwing them against. For this, you're going to need two books. The first one, of course, is the Monster Manual, so that way you can look at the different types and examples of monsters and use them as kind of like a standard, or maybe a kind of reference guide for what you're going to create. And the other book we need is the Dungeons and Masters Guide, specifically page 273, which has a section on creating a monster or modifying one that already exists. These are the two books we're going to need for this, and let's cut to my computer screen so that way you can see the process that I go through when I start creating my own custom monsters for my campaign. See you in a bit. Alright, hey guys, welcome back. Alright, so this is my screen. This is one of the many folders that I have. Don't worry about it. Just ignore that part. But we are going to be creating a homebrewed creature by modifying a current one. We all know skeletons, so we're going to make a blazing skeleton. No, he's not blazing 420, but instead, he is going to be a slightly more powerful skeleton that will shoot fireballs, more like firebolt, and explodes, dealing fire damage to anything around him when he goes boom. So the first thing we need to figure out is what his stats should be. Well, I don't want this to be like a sword and board fighting skeleton, so we're going to instead make him we're going to make him kind of a caster, kind of like an undead caster. So let's leave his strength at 10. Dex is 14, Con's 15, Intellect we'll put at 14, Wisdom we'll keep at 8, and Charisma will be 5. Actually, let's drop this down to 8 as well. So it's -1, +2, +2, +2. And this is using a number of the stats from just the basic skeleton you could find in your monster manual on 272, page 272. So, of course, we figured out what it is, so it's going to be 30 feet. But do we want it to remain a challenge of 1/4? And I'm thinking no. We want this to be stronger, so we're going to put it at a challenge rating of let's go with a challenge rating 2. So we're going to do a challenge rating 2, which is where is it in these notes? Ah, there it is. Experience points would be 450 for slaying it. Alright, so most of the time, challenge rating 2 has an AC class of 13. So, and of course, since it's kind of a caster, it doesn't really have any way of wearing armor because, when it comes to players, if they wear armor, it can get in the way if they're not proficient, all that jazz. So we're just going to stick with that, and we're going to give it, let's see, hit points wise, if it's a caster, would normally be D6s if it's a wizard, if I recall correctly. Let's go with D6s. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it about most challenge rating 2 creatures have about 80 health, but because it's a caster, we're going to go with about let's go with 65. No, that's still too much. No, 50. So we'll just put it as 66 plus 2. It's max 36. Because a normal skeleton, which is a CR 1/4, has 2d8 plus 4 health. See, this is a very time-consuming process doing this. Trying to find the proper balance. No, we will keep it at 66. No, because it's a skeleton, I'll keep with the what I originally had, which was 2d8 plus 4. Is it plus 4? Yeah, it's plus 4. So I'll say we'll up that to 6d8 plus 4, which would put it at, let's see, 6 times 8. That's 48 plus 2 for each level. So that's plus another 12. That would put it at 50 at max. So we'll say 36 for health. Since it is an undead, it is a caster, so it doesn't have a lot of health. And let's see, since it's undead, it would have, oopsie. I did not mean to do that. Senses. See, that's how you know this isn't really scripted that well, because I'm making mistakes already. So senses, it is dark vision, 60 feet, and passive perception, sticking with the wisdom, which should actually be a -1. I don't know how I messed that up. Of 9. Understands. Yeah, understands what it spoke in life. But oh geez. But can't speak. Also, since it's undead, it has some damage vulnerabilities. Against bludgeoning. Damage immunities to poisoning. Or just poison. Condition immunity to exhaustion. Poison. Alright. And see, already we have what can be used as the basis for a simple casting, or just a simple skeleton in general. So, since we took away points from the strength and we put them into intellect, we should probably actually drop constitution down as well. Let's drop that down to a 12. So that way it's just a +1. +3. Alright, so let's see. So for actions, we will start looking at spells, which are normally for challenge rating 2 creatures. So, for the most part, it's going to be something simple. Ignore that message. Double side. Nope. 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 No. Nope. 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 I need another book. I was wrong. We need all the books. Let's see. Casting spell damage. No. We don't want that. We don't want that. Alright, so we obviously need to go looking for a caster, Mr. Master. Oh, see, this is an arduous task. I'm doing this live. I will probably use this creature in my campaign at some point. But for the most part, I wanted to do this legitimately and as to how it normally is, because I feel like it's more honest that way. You know, seeing how the work of a dungeon master is never over. Where's a good one? You know what? Let's go with spells from nope, double nope. Zombies, XP. Alright. We're going to use a cultist fellow. As soon as I find them. We're going to use a cultist fellow as the basis for spells. There we go. Alright, so actions. Of course, it's multi-attack. Two melee attacks. Claws. And we'll say they do 1d4 plus, or 1d4 minus 1 and 1d6 fire. This is, of course, melee with, see, melee, 5-foot range. See, normally a creature class of challenge rating 2 has a +2 proficiency bonus. I would be proficient with its claws, but it only has a -1 to strength. So that does put a bit of a womp on it. But his claws probably would be considered a dexterity weapon, so that saves him a little bit. So that would still leave it at a +4 to hit. Let's see. And then, of course, you know, he has spells. Firebolt. 1d10 plus 2. See, we want to give him 3 cantrips. So let's do it this way. We're gonna add in cantrips, first level, second level. We're going to mostly keep them fire-based too, because he's on fire. He's a burning boy. He's a burning boy. Let's see. I need my other book. I need the player's handbook, because I'm giving him spells that players would use. Whew. You see, the work as a dungeon master is never over. Alright, so let's see. Here we go. Nope, nope, nope. Wrong way. Yeah, here we go. I don't know where I got the +10 from. So, first cantrip is Firebolt, which does just 1d10. We want to have three cantrips. So, it's a good idea to try and figure out which cantrips we want. Let's see. Ooh, here we go. And it's obviously wizard spells, so... Well, there aren't other fire spells for wizards, so we'll just go with... Oh wait, well there's Dancing Lights. Which I don't think has anything really in regards to it other than... Nope, nothing really special about that. Alright, so... I guess the last thing would be... let's give it prestidigitation, because, you know, why not? Alright, and then for the first level spells, you know, once again, keeping with the theme of fire, Burning Hands is definitely going to be on here. And if I recall correctly, that is just straight 3d6. But I will double check because I like being sure. Once again, I'm doing this, you know, purely as, you know, how you would do it as a Dungeon Master. It takes time. It takes, you know, double checking the rules, double checking, you know, spells and all that. And we have to do this not only now before everything, but also during. Burning Hands. Yep, just 3d6. And let's see, he gets 4 level 1 spells. So, I believe Grease should be on there. Purely because, you know, you can light it on fire, so why not, you know, throw something on your opponents that you can then use to help burn them more. Grease. It's dexterity saving throw. It would be off of his spell modifier, which would be, let's see, the intellect, so it's 8 plus 2, so 10. And is it level? I don't think it's level. See, you know, this would be easier for my one-player, you know, Regnus, because he's a living handbook. So he knows all of this. Well, he doesn't know all of it, you know, he's just a living handbook, so he knows things. Proficiency plus intelligence modifier. His proficiency would be +2, so his DC would be 11. No, his DC would be 12. Alright, and then his next 2 spells. You know what? Let's just go ahead and give him 2 more Burning Hands. Of course, you know, their DC would be the same of, you know, DC 12. For second level spells, he gets 2s. Oh no, he gets 3 slots. It's 3 slots. You could always do continual flame and flaming sphere. Nah, continual flame's not a damage spell. That's dark vision. It's pretty much a walking fireball, so. Scorching Ray and Flaming Sphere it is. So, first one is Flaming Sphere. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Dexterity save or take 2d6 fire damage. Alright. Flaming Sphere. 2d6. And then Scorching Ray. Scorching Ray, Scorching Ray, Scorching Ray. That's too far. Here we go. 3 rays, 2d6 each. Alright. Alright. Scorching Ray. 3 rays, 2d6. Alright, so we got that settled. That took a little bit longer than expected, but hey, you know, that's just kind of how it is when it comes to creating your own creature that you want to do. As I said, it's a blazing skeleton, so it's always on fire. So, of course, you know, it'd also be immune to fire. And let's see. I would say it would also produce, let's go with hot-bodied. Let's say 15 feet. Let's go with 10. 10 feet. Take 1d4 of fire damage from being too close. So that way it's not too overpowered. And, you know, it's able to take the hits and... Well, it's not really able to take hits, but it's able to, like... If you don't kill it quickly, it can prove to be a very big problem. You know, it's an armor class 13, so it's pretty easy to hit. It's got, you know, squishy hit points at 36, but it's vulnerable to bludgeoning, but completely immune to fire and poison. And then with the whole, you know, if you're too close to it, you're being burned by the flames, and I didn't want to be at too powerful flames, so just dropping it down to a 1d4 of fire damage being too close. And of course, you know, why did I put the Fanatic? Oh, because I was looking at the Fanatic. So we're just gonna... So of course, you know, it can make 2 claw attacks, or it can cast a couple of spells. And this is pretty much how it goes about when it comes to creating a custom character or a custom monster for your campaign. Is essentially you want to find what you feel like is a good balance for what you're throwing at them. This one might not be a CR2, it might be closer to a CR3, but for the most part, I feel comfortable in the fact that a party would be able to take care of this without too much problems. Especially considering, it mostly just will stay at a distance, and if they were able to get close enough and hit it, they'll probably kill it instantly, if they're lucky. But, it's mostly a spellcaster, and that's what it's all about. It's about, burning everything that gets too close to it. I know it's supposed to have 3 level 4 or level 2 spells, but I decided I am going to instead have it just have 2. Because I feel like the Flaming Sphere and Scorching Ray is strong enough for what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you create a homebrewed creature and balance it. All the pages you need are in your Dungeon Master's Guide and your Monster Manual, and as you saw, because I needed to look up spells, your Player's Handbook. So this is the Blazing Skeleton. You can look at it, copy it down if you want. I'm not going to stop you. And I feel like this is definitely something I'll be using in the future, either against my current campaign or maybe against another. Who knows? But this is essentially the process I go through for when I'm creating anything. If I don't like the stats that are in the book, I'll bring it into this and I'll start modifying what the stats are in order to I get essentially a creature that I feel like truly will put a challenge to my players and give them a good fight. Anyways, that's it for this D20 Sundays. Thank you again for watching, and if this helped you at all, do like and subscribe, and catch you in the next video. Laters.